Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. This is the one that the Victorian journal as I'll call it, that we started. We've got the cover done. Now I did add some like off-white antique looking pearls to it, just to break up that white cover. Trying to get it here in focus. So I went ahead and I started shopping, if you will, out of my own stash here for things to go in here. And some of the things that I have pulled, I'll show these to you right quick. I do have some of the pink seam binding left over. And I found these hearts, which we may or may not use. Some pink halfbacks. Some hand-painted, watercolored, just little journaling cards. These were the vellum that we painted together a while back. I may or may not use them, but I've got them here just in case. And then I went through and pulled a selection of different pages that to me looked a little vintagey and included them in here. Then I went through, well, these two are actually scraps, but I went through and pulled a ton of other things that could be used. Now, I'm not saying we're going to use all of it, but it's good to have it on hand, because then you don't have to go searching through everything here. So, I'll set some of this aside right now, because we're not going to need it at the moment. Oh, excuse me. I think the only thing I have left from the summer cold is the cough. Now, I did go through and get my ties pulled out here. The way this, so far, this is working is the top one I can wrap all the way around. The bottom one just bring up and tie it. I don't know how thick it's going to be, so I really don't want to trim those off. And then I've got my string where I sewed the signature in. I don't want to get through that with that either. But I did trim a lot of the pages down. There's a few tucks in here, but not a whole lot. And I started just pulling a few things here and there to see what would work, and came up with a few things to sort of get us on the road this morning, so to speak. This is just a piece of book page, but it's really worn and delicate looking. And I did refill my glue bottle. I went through quite a bit yesterday when we did the cover. But it takes a bit. So, okay, get this on here. Now, I was going to put that at the top, but I think I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. And I want to make a pocket right here so that I can put something in here. Now, most of you know I don't do a lot of putting the tags or inserts in until I get a ways in the book. But I may change with this one. I don't know yet. And I haven't gone through my laces to see what laces I want to use on the inside. I'm thinking about putting something on here with the lace, but that's still left to do. And this, I had glue string. For me right now, this is fine. I don't want to do anything else. And I don't want to put an insert in here till I know my glue is dry. And I can come back and add stuff later. These are just the first things that I pulled out. Now, when you're laying something and you're doing it across the pages, I like, putting it down in that tuck fold, because I can either glue this so that this is a pocket, I can leave this open, or make this a pocket, or just glue the whole thing flat. There's so much that you can do with something like this. What have I got here? So I think I'll just glue that part flat, because I do like that there. Now I did go through and ink these. So get that there. And then because this is down here, I'm going to put, see, where am I going to? I'm going from here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down in that crease, because this I want to set in that crease nice and tight. So I'll push it down in there first and then smooth this out. Now I'm not going to touch this part here yet. I want to give that glue a chance to grab hold. But this is just getting us started today. And we're under a tropical storm warning here on the East Coast. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, so we get usually it's not till September and October, well, mainly September, that it seems we start getting really bad weather. I think the last really bad storm we had was Florence. Oh, that isolated Wilmington totally. No. All right, so this has had time to set. Now, I could actually come under here, put that down and make this a pocket too. Or I could do the pocket this way and move that up there. I like that, so I think I'll do it that way. Just coming in, layering a few things on some pages, getting an idea, and then I can come back later with embellishments and stickers and other things. So, get this up here in the corner. Make sure the glue isn't coming out around it. And then this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on this side and put just a little bit of glue there. I'm going to come across the bottom and up that one side there. And now I could have also just left it like it is and use it as another journaling spot. We may do that later in the book. Crease, make sure that gets down. So that, and it goes pretty quick when you're just putting pages down. Just filling some things in to sort of see where you want to go with it. I do have some larger ones that would probably take up that whole page. But do I want to take up a page that big? Or do I want to use that as somewhere else a bit smaller? See, when I look at things, I'm looking at how this is going to react with the page next to it. And I'm not really liking that. Oh, these have some of the same dark tones. I think it may be too dark. Or what if, let's see here. I've got that, but not the top part, just the bottom. I would trim that off. It's a matter of looking through your papers, seeing what you have, or just a piece of note paper there. Just something to start off with. Let's do that. Let's trim this down. And I may put a piece of that on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come across here, trim off. Now, one thing I have found is that it's more difficult to trim across the page or to tear things across the page than it is to tear down the sides. Now this, I won't have any problems with. This will tear off fairly easy and somewhat straight. I mean, it may not be perfect, but that's okay. See how much easier that is to tear? You know what? Just for laughs and giggles. I know. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but let's do something different here. We're going to start with going to rip the page and put it on both sides. Nothing says you have to use, you know, it all put together. And I know my inking is horrible. I had to refill my ink pad. Yeah, that'll give us something to build on. And that's all I'm doing. I'm getting some pages here ready to build on. Because then I can come back in and say, oh, well, that looks good, maybe this, maybe that. And fine tune everything. Okay. I kind of like splitting things up like this. It gives it a different, just something different on the pages. And I'll be able to tie them in. Let's see, here I've got a tuck. I don't know if I'm going to use it as a tuck, if I'm going to keep it or tear it off or what yet. This was a piece of that when one of my first attempts at the faux vellum. This is on that real thin copy paper, not copy paper, tracing paper. And all I did was put glue on it and put some little pieces of, oh, my brain's not working this morning, dryer sheet that I tore up on it. So what I think, I'm going to leave that like that and use it as a flip out. So I know I need to do something with this envelope. That is a must do. So let me see, what do I have over here? I do have the darker one, and that just fits right there. Not quite to the top. And then, so I actually need to tear it down here. Here with my ink, and now my glue. Yep, I definitely overdid my ink, but it's not as bad as last time. I refilled it so bad, and when I put my dauber on it, it was quite a while before I had to re-ink my dauber. Now I'm making sure it gets all the way down into that crease there. And then I want to fold it up and back on itself. So that if that page is going to move at all, it will move while I'm pressing down. I think I got that pretty good. Yep. All right, so there's the back of it. Here's my front. It's, you can tell it's a business envelope, but it's okay. We're going to continue to use it. But I want to leave that. So should I could come in here with bits and pieces, patchwork it, but do I really want to go through that? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know yet. That's definitely not wide enough, but it would cover up the name. Did I put that? No, that went right on. Now see, I could start with that. This may be a quandary for me. This would actually tie the front and back in. And come down this way. Tear part of this off here. Now this is probably not the way to do it, but yeah, it's going to gap there. Come to here and just tear it down. And I've got the excess over here. And see how close that comes to fitting. Not bad. And it does get rid of the name part there. So, we'll try this. Give it a good inking. And then come in with the glue. I do want to make sure, I want to make sure I get close to the edge, but not on the edge, because I don't want my glue to come over onto my window. Now, I'm not going all the way to the top. There. But just enough to cover up that name on the envelope. And then down here, could just come in with something there. Or does that fit? That would actually fit across there. And then I can figure out something for that. So, because I'm not sure if I want to stick something under it or not, but I do know I want that there. Now, if you're unsure about things like this, which I am, all I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of glue right across the bottom. That's it. And then just put it in place. Because that way, if I want to come in with something and tuck it under, I'll have that option. Whereas if I glue it all the way down like I did up here, I would have no option. So, which isn't bad. That's almost got that taken care of, and we still have our pocket here. I may want to come in and put something on the inside, which I most definitely do because I don't like that. I don't think it looks very vintagey or Victorian. So, but we've done a little bit to start off with. It's not a whole lot, but it's getting some of your basics down on your page. Getting things you want taken care of. And this is one thing I do want to take care of, because I want this center to be a pocket while I'm thinking of it before we end up today. So I'm simply going to glue top and then across, making sure I get glue on my string there. Come all the way over. And fold that up, just like that. So now my center is a pocket. Now we've still got quite a ways to go. We haven't done a whole lot today, but we got started. We worked a little bit in our journal. And even if, all you do is glue down a page here, a background there, a piece of wallpaper here, and by wallpaper, your background sheets. And, if that's all you do in a day, that's fine. Like, see, this is what I would consider wallpaper, because I know I'm going to come back with something else on top of it. So, but it's okay to do only a little bit a day. If you only have 5 minutes, that's fine. Spend what time you can. Don't be stressed out about it, because this is not something that we can get done overnight. Let's face it. It's going to take time. And we have the time. Whether it's 5 minutes today, whether it's 30 minutes tomorrow, or what. We have the time. We will work on this more as we go. So, if you liked what I shared with you today, give me a thumbs up, because all those thumbs up count. And hit the subscribe button so that you will be on the list, and it'll pop up anytime I've got a new video. Now, if you hit that little bell icon, it will notify you. Mine notifies me through YouTube notifications thing that whoever I'm watching has a new video. So if you want that, click that bell notification. Either way, thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.